The great energy tug-of-war, Canada's bold move to revive a pipeline giant. In a dramatic twist that could reshape North America's energy landscape, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, not Mark Carney as we'll clarify later, recently reignited discussions about bringing back the highly contentious Keystone XL pipeline project during a pivotal White House meeting with US President Donald Trump. But here's where it gets controversial. This isn't just about oil, it's about geopolitics, climate change, and a hefty dose of economic leverage. Let's set the stage. The Keystone XL pipeline, a $9 billion behemoth designed to ferry up to 830,000 barrels, that's 35 million gallons, of crude oil daily from the tar-rich oil sands of Alberta, Canada, down to Steel City, Nebraska, and eventually to US Gulf Coast refineries. Sounds straightforward, right? Wrong. This project has been a political hot potato since its inception, sparking heated debates over environmental impact, indigenous rights, and America's growing obsession with energy independence. A history of stops and starts. Back in 2015, under President Barack Obama, the project was put on ice due to concerns over its carbon footprint. Specifically, the notion that burning oil sands crude could accelerate climate change and lock the world into a fossil fuel future. Then, in a stunning U-turn, Donald Trump revived Keystone XL during his first term, hailing it as a jobs bonanza and a victory for American energy dominance. Fast forward to 2021, and President Joe Biden cancelled its border crossing permit on day one of his presidency, citing those same climate concerns. 4 years ago, the Canadian company behind Keystone XL, TC Energy, then TransCanada, pulled the plug, frustrated by Ottawa's inability to secure a green light from the Biden administration. The project seemed dead and buried, until Trudeau dusted off the blueprints and took them to Trump, linking the pipeline's revival to a much broader trade negotiation. But wait, you might ask, who is Mark Carney? Here's the correction most people need. Mark Carney is actually the former governor of the Bank of England and a UN climate envoy, not the current Canadian Prime Minister. That be Justin Trudeau. It appears there was a mix-up in the original reporting. Trudeau, under mounting pressure from Alberta, Canada's oil heartland, has been exploring every avenue to get its crude to market. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, succeeding Jason Kenney, who initiated the push, has been vocal about the economic lifeline a new pipeline would provide. Tariffs as bargaining chips during the White House meeting, Trudeau allegedly found Trump receptive to the Keystone XL revival, but with a strategic hook. Canada's willingness to cooperate on energy would be tied to US tariff policies affecting Canadian steel and aluminum exports. Here's the rub. The US slaps a hefty 50% tariff on these crucial commodities. Trudeau's message was clear. Let's work together on energy, and Canada might just ease the pain on American manufacturers hungry for affordable Canadian metals. Trudeau doubled down on this strategy during a live video call with Toronto business leaders, emphasizing the need to unleash Canadian energy and build major projects that benefit both nations. He wasn't shy about highlighting Canada's aluminum dominance, supplying 60% of US needs, and questioning the logic of tariffs that force America to overlook its own energy-intensive production capabilities. For the US to produce that much aluminum domestically, Trudeau argued, it would require the energy equivalent of 10 Hoover dams. Is that really the best use of power when you're in the midst of an AI revolution and vowing to keep electricity costs low for American manufacturers? It's a clever judo move, as former Premier Jason Kenney put it, leveraging Canada's energy and metal resources to chip away at those tariffs. The elephant in the room, climate versus commerce. Biden's cancellation of Keystone XL wasn't just bureaucratic red tape. It was a climate statement. Oil sands extraction and refining are carbon-intensive processes, prompting environmentalists to label the project a carbon bomb. Reviving it under Trump would seemingly fly in the face of global climate commitments, sparking outrage from green advocates. Yet pragmatists counter that Canada needs outlets for its oil riches, especially as the world gradually shifts away from fossil fuels. If the energy transition happens too fast, they warn, countries like Canada could be left with stranded assets and economic ruin. A spokesperson for Enbridge, the company now overseeing the existing Keystone system, not South Bow Corp, which seems to be another misnomer, echoed this sentiment, stating they're supportive of efforts to find solutions for transporting Canadian crude, emphasizing collaboration over confrontation. The shifting sands of US-Canada relations. Trudeau dropped a bombshell in the same business call. Our relationship with the US will never again be what it was. We understand America first. This isn't just diplomatic speak. It marks a seismic shift. For decades, Canada and the US enjoyed near frictionless trade and energy integration. Trump's America First doctrine blew that paradigm apart, forcing Canada to recalibrate, either fall in line or play the long game of economic détente. And this is the part most people miss. This pipeline debate isn't merely about oil logistics. It's about which nation sets the energy agenda for North America. If Keystone XL rises from the ashes, it could redefine Canada's clout in Washington, bind the two economies tighter, and raise pressing questions. Should climate policy bend to accommodate economic realities? Or is that a recipe for environmental disaster? Can Canada truly use its energy resources as leverage against US tariffs? Or is this just diplomatic wishful thinking? And most critically, in a world obsessed with net zero emissions, does reviving Keystone XL signal a step backward for global climate action? We want to hear from you. Is Trudeau's gamble on Keystone XL a masterstroke of economic diplomacy or a climate betrayal in disguise? Are tariffs the right bargaining chip? Or will they backfire, triggering a full-blown trade war? Share your take in the comments below. One thing's certain, the fate of Keystone XL will reshape not just pipelines, but the very fabric of US-Canada relations for years to come.